And welcome back to Music Free Static. I hope you're having a fabulous day. And a couple of days ago, as I record this, Mumbo Jumbo put out a video. It talked about the reasons why Minecraft Let's Plays have died. And I got thinking about that a bit, and I think, honestly, his video is really good. It's linked in the description. You can go watch it. I definitely recommend it. But I don't think the problem, as he talks about, is unique to Minecraft. All right. There's some interesting challenges with Minecraft in particular, but the whole Let's Play genre of videos really has sort of died. And let's go through some of this, and we'll see if maybe we can make a little bit of sense of it. Okay. Now, again, I highly recommend watching Mumbo's video, because I'm going to be using some of what he said as reference. But one of the things he talks about is that Let's Plays are almost a guarantee of less views as you go on. Okay, so the idea is you put out your first video, and there's excitement about the first video. Again, he talks about Minecraft in particular. You start a Minecraft series, and everyone's excited when you first start. But as you go on, there's less and less interest as people, they drop off the series, they lose interest. Sure, you may get some more people coming in, but in general, your videos are going to be fewer. There are going to be fewer views per video as you go on than there were at the beginning. He talks about YouTube has a thing when you put up a video. This is the how does this video compare to your last 10 videos? And if it's a 10 out of 10 video, meaning it's the worst of the last 10 videos, then, YouTube isn't going to recommend it quite as much. All right. Well, if that happens, YouTube stops recommending your channel quite as much, your views go down, all sorts of bad things happen. This is why Let's Plays tend to not long-term not work quite as well. Now, this is also why a series like Hermitcraft, where they've got a fairly long-running season. I think season 10 was, I think it was almost 2 years, right? It was a reasonably long season. Not as long as season 9, but longish, right? But they just ended. They're resetting here very, very soon, and they're going to be off to the races again. That's partly why they do it. Aside from, they want to have creative shifts, they want to do something new, they don't have, all of these other cool things. They want to start over, because starting over resets that decline. They climb up to the top of the ladder before they go down the slide again, right? And this is something that's not unique to Minecraft, right? If you're going to sit down and play through Kingdom Hearts, or Horizon Zero Dawn, or Final Fantasy, or Baldur's Gate 3, right? Those are games that are going to take a long time to get through, right? Many, many hours to get through. And if you want to do a full playthrough of that, you're going to be losing people that whole way. By the time you get to the end of the series, you're lucky to have half the number of viewers you've got, unless you are one of those people who are just, everyone watches everything you do. You're going to see that slope. Now, it's interesting. Mumbo broke down the type of YouTubers into basically 2 categories, and really it's more of a spectrum than you are in one bucket or the other. But basically, he says you've got 2 types of creators. You've got the relationship creators. These are the people who you're going to watch no matter what they do, within reason, okay? So, for example, I like to watch Impulse SV, okay? I like his Minecraft videos. He does a bunch of different things, whether it's Hermitcraft, he's got a solo world, he's got a series that he does with Skizzleman, where it's the 2 of them in an ultra hardcore world, trying to accomplish some challenge or other, okay? All sorts of fun. I'm not particularly excited when he goes and plays Phasmophobia, so I probably won't watch those very often. I do once in a while, but Phasmo is just not my jam, so I don't tend to watch those. But when he'll jump into a game with the Gigs crew, and they'll play Repo or they play Peak or any number of other games, and I'll jump in and watch because I like Impulse. Okay, it's the same thing with other streamers like Gemini Tay or Mandolin or others. It's like I watch them because I like them. Okay, the content is not quite secondary, but really it is. The reason I'm watching is for them. The other side of the spectrum is what Mumbo referred to as the idea creators. Okay, these are the people who are creating videos that are, how did he put it? These are a spectacle. You're coming for this thing, and these videos tend to be standalone videos. Okay, he calls out Mr. Beast as falling right into this thing too. Mark Rober is another one where he may only put out one video a year, but that video, they're all something special, okay? But there's a lot of work and it's produced and you get the video, okay? Those types of videos are, I don't want to say maybe they're evergreen, but because they're not tied to anything else, they're an easier place to just drop in, watch that video, and drop out, okay? From a Minecraft perspective, you're looking at something like a tutorial, okay? And my best performing video is a tutorial. It's a create mod tutorial. It's a tree farm, okay? But I have a number of other create tutorials and a vanilla potion brewer tutorial. They all did light years better than any of my Let's Plays. Okay, so yeah, you pull in people for, hey, I'm going to watch this one video because they did something cool. So take Mark Rober, for example. I don't watch most of his stuff, okay? But every once in a while something comes up, and oh yeah, I'm hooked for that video, right? He did a couple of videos that were squirrel obstacle courses, okay? And they were all sorts of fun. But I haven't gone back to watch anything else he's done, okay? And there are a lot of YouTubers that are like that pull people in for that one video, and so that's their whole thing, is to get everyone watching that one video, not to get them to watch a series. And that's where Let's Plays tend to fail, is because, hey, you jump in episode 1, great, we're here, we're together, we're punching trees, whatever. But now, well, episode 2 is more of the same, and episode 3 is more of the same, right? So if you get the series, right, it's easy to jump into that one video and watch it. Oh, that was cool, and move on. But with later videos in a series, you're going to get people who are going to drop into this, like, this is episode 24? Do I have to go watch the other 23 episodes? No, that's too hard. I'm done. Right? This is not a problem unique to Minecraft, okay? This is a problem with the Let's Play genre as a genre. Now, I think Minecraft in particular has a couple of things going. I'm gonna say going against it. Okay, Minecraft is a slightly different beast because in some ways it's more visual than some other games, right? If someone's got a series where they're playing Horizon Zero Dawn, okay, to pick a game from a few years ago that was absolutely amazing, and you should go play it if you haven't. The Horizon games, they've got this amazing story, but Zero Dawn, man, I loved that story. And you go through it, there's Aloy, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Why are these robot dinosaurs and other robot animals, attacking and all of this stuff, and running into these weird cultural dynamics between her tribe and these others, and what's going on, and who are these raiders, and Why are the robots becoming aggressive, right? All of this fun stuff, right? Great game, but if you're gonna, are you gonna pick it up in the middle of the story, right? But and as you look at it, it's beautiful, but honestly, most of it you can sort of just put it off to the side and listen, is in that full second screen experience, right? You put it up on the other screen while the video's going, and you do something else. Okay? But Minecraft it's as much about the art of Minecraft, at least when it comes to a video series that's more about building, okay? Which most of Minecraft is, really. That's what part of what makes Minecraft awesome is the building aspect, right? You're going to jump in and you're going to build up this world from nothing, right? Because of that, Minecraft, at least Mumbo was arguing that Minecraft is harder to second screen because it's a little bit too engaging, maybe. It maybe asks a little bit too much of you to jump into that idea, right? To just put it up on the second screen and listen to it and not look at what's being built. The other thing, as I was thinking about all of this, is that when people are searching for videos, right? You go into YouTube, I want to search. More often than not, they're searching for those one-off videos. They're searching for a tutorial. They want to see the one shot. They want to see, oh, here's my 100 days in hardcore. Right? Now, I have been sorely tempted, and I will probably never do it because I'm also selectively lazy. But, here's the 100 days in hardcore. Dig a hole, sit there, and just time lapse 100 days of the world going around me and then pop up, right? It would be a silly idea for a short or something like that. But really what people are wanting to see is, what did you do in those 100 days? Okay. Now, it's not quite like Fwip, who's like 40,000 days into his hardcore world or something like that, where part of the appeal is, hey, am I going to see him die today? Okay, I kind of agree with what Pixel Riffs was saying on stream one day with hardcore. It's like, do I really want a series where people are watching to see if I'm going to fail? Don't know that I want to encourage that, right? But the reality is, when people are coming to search, when it comes to search and looking for content, that's what they're seeing. And if they're getting content recommended to them, right? Because YouTube's a recommendation engine as much as it is anything else. Again, you've got the, hey, I'm doing this thing. Do I want to jump into the middle of this? Right? And that is not great for a Let's Play series. The other thing that killed Let's Plays, and honestly, I think this is as much or more of the reason Let's Plays are dead or dying as a video format, is streams. I mean, I think the reality is streams have done more to kill the Let's Play series than anything else, right? And the reason is that what streams, you get to see the whole process. Okay. So for the most part, so let's take Horizon Zero Dawn, for example. If you're going to stream that, or if you're going to make Let's Play videos of it, okay, here's the beginning. You've got a bunch of cutscenes. Right, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Some of it you can cut out, some of it you can't. But you go do the thing. But with a Let's Play, or with a stream, sorry, the streamer gets a little bit more time to interact not only with the game, but interact with the viewers. And so we could all talk about, hey, what the heck is going on? Hey, maybe, hey, this puzzle I'm kind of stuck on. What do y'all think? What's going on? Right? Those types of things, right? I really saw it. I streamed Kingdom Hearts 3 back in the day. And for context, I'd played Kingdom Hearts 1, loved it. Played Kingdom Hearts 2, loved it. Um, played. Oh, I started playing one. There was one. It was like in between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. It was like a card based one. I always forget the name of this thing. I hated it. Okay, because the game mechanics just sucked. And the reality is, most of the Kingdom Hearts games, they were on DS. I didn't have a DS. My kids did. They played a bunch of those. I never did. Well, turns out there's a lot of story that happens in those games. And so by the time I fired up Kingdom Hearts 3, I didn't know who most of the characters were. Okay. I recognized a bunch of the people from Organization 13. Obviously, I knew Donald and Goofy and Mickey, right? I knew who Sora was and Roxas, because he was in Kingdom Hearts 2. Kairi, okay, yep, because she was, yep, in those first two games. But most of the characters, I had no clue who they were. There was something that was happening in a cutscene that I'm sure was very momentous. I had no clue who the characters were. It's like, well, that part of what made streaming it fun is, one, I had one of my kids who was in chat and it was a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. And she was like, oh yeah, this what's going on here, and filling in some of the gaps, and we're laughing about how clueless I am about the story, and that was a lot of fun. And I think that sort of interaction, both with the streamer and with the game and all of that, has really pulled that concept of, hey, I'm going to play through an entire game, come watch. All of that is pulled out of the video series and into streams. Now, you can turn streams into videos. I've certainly done that for a long time. I was doing that. And I know a lot of people that do. And you can pull clips from the streams and throw those up for, shorts and all that fun stuff. And it's great. Streams have a serious advantage when it comes to Let's Plays. And one of the advantages is people expect to miss things with a stream. So let me explain that. A stream can go, it's usually multiple hours, okay? Mine tend to be 2.5 to 3, 3.5 maybe, because that's just what the time I have to stream. Some people go 4, 5, 6 hours for a stream, okay? Whatever. But these are long, and rarely do people sit down and watch an entire stream, right? Like a stream may start before you get home from work, for example. Okay, and now you put it on while you're having dinner, and maybe you can watch the rest of it then, but you've missed the first couple of hours. Okay, that happens. Or, as often as the case for me, the stream has started, I've watched a couple of hours of it, and then it's time for me to go to bed, right? Because I get up early, and I'm not going to stay up for another 3 or 4 hours to watch the rest of the stream. I've got to get to bed and get some sleep, right? That happens too. It's really common to dip in and out of a stream. And so when you come back to the next stream, of course things are different. Yes, you've missed things. And that's just part of the gig, right? That's just part of how this all works with a stream. It's like, oh, hey, you've made a lot of progress since I was here last time. Cool. If you miss a stream, okay, you've missed a stream and you're back in, okay? And for people who are looking for streams, they expect to come in the middle of the story, so to speak, okay? And it doesn't matter if it's the middle of the actual game story, right? Again, Horizon or Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy or something, where you drop in and now you're in chapter 12 of 24, okay? They just expect that because that's just the nature of streams. People expect to be dipping in and out in the middle of things. And because of that, it's easier for people to engage with that sort of content, that Let's Play style of content in a stream format. Okay. Now, the cool thing is, a lot of people, most streamers in fact, keep their VODs around. So if you want to catch up, you can. Twitch will keep them around for a couple of weeks or a month, depending on whether or not you're a partner, things like that. A lot of streamers export their streams to YouTube, so they're now up in perpetuity. Awesome, right? So if you want to catch up, you can. But there really isn't an expectation of that. So Mumbo is exactly right on the problems with Let's Play series on YouTube, is you get that almost guaranteed string of 10 out of 10s, as he put it. That guaranteed downward slope of people were very excited at the beginning and they lose interest or fall off for other reasons. Okay. I said it's really hard to pull people in to watch those later episodes if they haven't been watching from the beginning. Okay. Now, in some ways, it's easier if you're part of a group like Hermitcraft, where maybe you haven't watched all of Impulse's stuff, but you've been watching Pearlescent Moon. And now something has happened in the overall season of Hermitcraft, the overall world. It's like, oh, I need to go watch what Impulse is doing now, or what Tango is doing now, or what Scar is doing now, or something like that, right? And now you jump on and watch the rest of that series or something like that, right? That happens. That's one of the great things about a community of creators like Hermitcraft. But that's kind of rare. I'm not going to lie. That is not the most common thing to happen. So, what does this do for content? And now the reality is, I don't know, right? Now, from my own perspective, I definitely saw a lot more video success with tutorials, okay? It was because of my tutorials that I got enough watch hours and things like that to have been invited to the YouTube Partner Program, okay? Wonderful, lovely, amazing, great. I'm still a very small channel. And the reality is, I don't like doing those videos, right? You know, I was definitely one of those people. I would stream for, you know, two or 3 hours a couple of days a week, like 3 days a week, because that's just what my schedule supported. And I would take those, say 8 or 9 hours of stream time and chop them up into about a 20-minute video. And the videos did nothing. I got basically the same views on a Let's Play video as I got on a stream. And I got a lot less watch time. Okay. That's just how it went. Okay. So, you know, if I'm going to be spending that time for all the time to do all of the editing and stuff to create a video that nobody's going to watch, why bother creating the video? Right? There are other things I could do with that time. Honestly, if I wanted to take that time and focus it on content, I'd fire up stream again. That would really be the most effective way I could use that time for content, because the reality is that format is kind of dead. That whole Let's Play thing just doesn't work, especially for somebody who's got a smaller channel like me, right? And if you've got a long-term series going, it doesn't work with YouTube, and it doesn't work pulling in new viewers, which is why you see people, you know, starting to change things up, right? So this is why Hermitcraft resets. This is why you see YouTubers, even if they're Minecrafters and they just do Minecrafty things, right? Yeah, they'll do, you know, like we'll use Impulse as an example. He'll do Hermitcraft, but then he'll do Naked and Scared with Skizzleman, right? Well, where they'll do their ultra hardcore thing, and he's got Impulse has a Redstone to Riches world where it's his long-term survival world that he dips in and out of, right? Pearl, obviously, she makes videos with Hermitcraft. She has a hardcore series that she streams, but she doesn't do videos with it, right? But, you know, she'll do other things. So, yeah, it's just, I think Mumbo is absolutely correct. Looking at the statistics and all of that stuff with the Let's Play video series, they don't quite work. Where they really do work, to the extent that they do, is with that category of relationship streamers or relationship creators that he talked about. Because these are the people you are watching them for them. You are not watching them for the content specifically. And those are the people you're going to go back to. But that means you have to keep building relationships, right? Which is, obviously, that's great. Everybody needs to do that. You're building your audience. But that's the idea. You're bringing in all those people who are watching you as a streamer or a video creator because they are watching you, right? And this is why I think some creators... Minecraft is particularly weird, but because there's often no camera on the creator because the focus is on the build. But you get creators like Solidarity Gaming, and he puts his webcam in all of his videos, right? Because he is the reason you're watching. And so he's putting that focus, and of course he does fun stuff, reaction zoom ins and all sorts of other fun things, right? And there are some creators like Gemini Tay, who Hermitcraft videos, she doesn't do webcam, but for other Minecraft videos she does, right? So she had a Skyblock series that she was doing, and yeah, she's got her webcam right there where she's doing the things. Okay, awesome, wonderful. So you can see her playing and her reactions and all of this good stuff. Again, the content is, yes, it's about Skyblock and her world that she's building, but it's about her and her world that she's building. It's about Gemini Tay as much as it is about this cool little farm that she's building out of this one block Skyblock thing. So, where does that leave us, right? Just in Minecraft in particular, but in the Let's Plays in general, where does that leave us? So, people are still going to be making Let's Plays for a number of reasons, and they will still exist. And they will have that same sort of high and low that Mumbo talks about in his video, and that we've talked about here. But I think the reality is that most of that Let's Play type of content is happening on stream. And boy, I tell you, I seriously misunderstood what all of that was like when I started making content almost 10 years ago now. Because the videos I was watching first was Achievement Hunter. And their videos, they sort of pioneered the Let's Play format. And their videos were very often, hey, let's record ourselves for an hour or so, do some editing to show, everyone's perspectives, but it's about it. We're going to play for an hour, upload it, and move on. And man, I got a warped perspective of how Let's Plays actually work. But what's going on with all of that is now pretty much just streams. It really is. And it's cool. I mean, honestly, I prefer streaming to videos because I like my personal preference as a creator. I like to perform. I like the interaction. I like the feedback. I love that sort of, I love making stupid comments and getting stupid comments back, right? I love it when whatever sentence I just said has only a passing resemblance to anything, grammatically correct. And we all can laugh at it and joke about it and move on. Or I'll say something stupid and I can riff on it for a while and chat just helps, I love that interaction, that performance. That's why people so often, like actors, often prefer acting in theater versus acting on TV or in movies. Because you get that immediate feedback. I love that. That's my That's one of the things I like about streaming. That's what I love about streaming, really. Yes, I like to play Minecraft. I play it a lot, okay? It's because Minecraft has... It fits me in just an amazing way. I love it, okay? There are lots of other games I liked playing, and I love Minecraft. I'm going to keep playing Minecraft. But man, it's just so much more fun when we could talk about the fact that I've just fallen off my build for the 40th time during that stream, right? It was particularly bad in Create Mod when I had a jetpack and was less careful. And very often, the number of times I would yo-yo, right? I would step off something, jetpack back up, and miss it and fall off again. It was bad and stupid. And we laughed a lot about it, okay? And so as things have changed in the creator landscape, I really think that the very concept of a Let's Play series has been really overtaken by streams. And I said, I think I've talked about it before, but I think the real reasons for that is that streams are... You lose the expectation that you have to watch everything up to that point. You get more interaction. And I think it just tends to fit the we're going to play this game sort of vibe a little bit better than the modern Let's Play does. Or even the not so modern Let's Play does, especially if you're playing a story-driven game. Because there's so much of the story you end up having to cut out to fit your videos into 20-minute slots. So, yeah, and I talked about this on stream a little bit the other day, and unfortunately I have a hard time diving into topics like this on stream because I'm playing the game and it breaks it up. But yeah, it's just, it can be really hard sometimes to get into a Let's Play series. And I'll tell you, there's some streamers, some creators that, boy, I fell off their Let's Play series fast, but I would pull up their streams. If they were streaming, I would definitely watch them stream. And it doesn't have anything to do necessarily with their editing style or anything else. It's just, I think the streams make that better second screen experience than a video does. And I'll tell you, I rarely sit down and watch, just watch anything anymore. I can't, I don't go to the movie theater because I hate the experience. But when I put on a movie, okay, if I've never seen the movie before, I'll focus on it a bit more. But for the most part, if I throw up a movie, it's going to be on the second screen while I'm playing Minecraft, catching up on news, something else. And I think that's the reality for a lot of people. And I think that's a lot of why streams are great, because streams are more often than not the perfect second stream experience because of what we talked about before. You can dip in and out. If you've missed something, you've missed something. Okay, whatever. On YouTube, you can go back and rewatch it. You can rewind, and it's great. On Twitch, I think if you subbed to a channel, you can rewind and catch up. So if you've missed something funny, you can go back, you can watch it, catch up, back up with stream. Okay, and that's awesome. So yeah, I honestly, as I said, if streaming weren't a thing, I think Mumbo would still be right. I just don't think the fall off would be quite as dramatic, because that's the only way you can catch up with what's going on. But with streams, you don't have that. I'm also going to throw in one other thing. He touches on it a little bit, Mumbo does in his video. But there's a level of production that's beginning to be expected in YouTube videos. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? Because you watch something like, I don't know, I keep calling out Mr. Beast. I have never actually watched a video from Mr. Beast, okay? But you watch some of these videos where you really there's this lot of production, a lot of editing that goes into it, a lot of work goes into making that 20 minutes of whatever it is that you're watching, which is great if you have the time to do it. Okay, if you're just getting into creating content, you don't have the skills, which is fine. Okay, don't let that stop you. Okay, if you want to start making content, start with where you're at and learn as you go and build it up. But don't expect to get anywhere while you're working through that learning process, okay? Because there is that expectation of a certain degree of polish. But you jump over into a stream, there's no time for that because you are live, right? Yeah, you might have some things that can happen, right? You can have an explosion that goes off when you get a bunch of gift subs, or you can have all sorts of fun things that happen. But nobody's going into a live stream, especially if somebody playing a video game, okay, and really expecting to watch something with the polish of ESPN, right? They're not expecting to go in and say, here is this football game, and we're going to do this instant replay, and we're going to do this and that and the other. Nobody's really expecting that. Sure, mad props to the streamers who can pull that off, but the reality is most people are not going for that sort of thing, okay? Especially when you're leaning into the Minecraft side of it. Okay, if you're playing something like Fortnite or COD or Battlefield or any of those types of things where it's you get a shooter, you get rounds, you get all of that type of thing. Okay, sure. But when it comes to something like Minecraft or Final Fantasy or Baldur's Gate, right, where you're playing through this linear story, or you've got the survival type world, nobody's really expecting that. What they are expecting is, this was really cool, right? So, and with that degree of enthusiasm, not woo, ha, but okay, yeah, this is fun. Hey, this made me laugh. This is cool. It's the whole nature of improv, right? I mean, I was in an improv show. We did an improvised play. We had a prompt. I think the prompt was elephants. And we did 15 minutes, 20 minutes of a play. And we told a story from beginning to end. And all we had going for us was one prompt from the audience. And it was hilarious. Because we had 6 or 8 of us who just picked up the pieces and we went with it. And it was fun and it was hilarious, and things went weird ways, and it was great. Could it have been funnier if it had been a fully scripted out sketch? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know that it would have. And that's what you get with a video. A video is more like, if you want to look at it from a comedy perspective, it's more like sketch comedy, like you might see from Saturday Night Live or Studio C, or really reaching back to the Carol Burnett show or something like that. And a stream is improv. So, yeah, that's what I think is really going on. I think that's something that Mumbo touched on it a little bit, but I really think that's what's missing from his analysis, which I believe is 100% correct. But I think it's missing this vital piece that really what's killing Let's Plays is not the recommendation engine as much as viewer tastes have changed, and streams are really the way that people are wanting to watch that style of content. So let me know what you think. Drop a comment on the video here on YouTube or on Spotify. Let me know. Of course, this like, subscribe, follow, let everyone else know about Music Free Static, and Until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Static signing off.